Okay folks, today I'm going to show you inside this vintage Borg Warner 4-speed manual transmission. This transmission is awesome. I got this from a long time hot rodder who had it in a 34 Ford for quite a few years, didn't drive it much, and as he got older he decided that he wanted an automatic transmission, so out came the 4-speed and in went an auto. Anyhow, it's in really nice shape. One good thing about like a 32 Ford is there's not much weight on the rear axle, so these T10 transmissions had a tendency to survive in those more than they did a heavy car that the tires would hook up and strip the gears and all that stuff. Anyway, this one is real nice. I guess before I start spinning it over, let me see if I can spill some gear oil everywhere by showing you the numbers and things. You'll see more, be careful here, in the pictures, but the case is T10D1, and there's some other numbers throughout. I believe the stamped code is supposed to be right here. I see some machine marks but no numbers, and I don't see any evidence that there ever was numbers. So you can still see it's as cast with just some marks here, probably from when it was machined, I'm assuming. But kind of cool, there's no numbers. The only numbers I found on the whole tranny were, let's see if we can actually zoom in. It doesn't look like a partial VIN. Looks like 1LLL22872. So I don't know if that's a rebuilder number or what, but that's the only number I could find on the whole thing. Everything looks great on this transmission. The pinhole is not wobbled out. It doesn't have marks or anything next to it. All the threads for the tail housing are in good shape. There's one area here that looks like it's been cleaned up, like it scraped on the ground or something at one point, but that's really a non-issue. The trans mounts are nice. The yoke slips in and out as it should, which is a thing on these T10s. Anyway, just a really nice transmission. I'm going to spin it and attempt to show you that it goes through the gears here. It can be hard to do with your hands, but we're going to try to do it. You can see it's in neutral now. You can spin it with just 2 fingers, which is pretty sweet. And we'll just go through the gears here. So without further ado, there's one of them. So again, 2 fingers, real nice, no chipped gears. All the engagement teeth and everything look quite nice, as you'll see probably better in the pictures. Here's our next guy, same deal, 2. There we are, spinning there. Real nice, no sloppiness, you can see here, no weird binding or anything like that. Back to neutral here, and these ones are generally the harder ones to do by hand, but let's see what we can do here. I might have to put the camera down because sometimes it takes 2 hands in that weird tight space, so bear with me here. I'll set you down and shift it into the next gear here. Okay, got one, so there we are. Again, 2 fingers, real nice. And this last one, when I pull back, is probably going to be the most difficult, but we'll get it. Okay, so I'm going to set you down again, and I'll pull this back. Maybe I'll have to push it. Bear with me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. I had it earlier. It's just so tight in there. It'll cut your hands because everything's so sharp. So bear with me. Well, we got it back into neutral here. You might have to take my word on it. I'll try one more time, but it's really hard to get an angle on this to be able to pull it. The forks do a great job when the side cover's on, but getting it back, especially when it's just been sitting for this long. Bear with me. Give it one more shot, and then no, I don't think it's gonna work, guys. Okay, anyway, you'll have to take my word that it goes into that last gear. Finally, I'll show you a fine crescent wrench here that reverse works. Reverse has a little more resistance, as you might expect, but you can see I'm still doing it with just a hand. You can see the gears are spinning opposite. I'm spinning this way. It is spinning that way. Anyhow, real nice. Get back into neutral here. I may try to slide it into that gear one more time. Sometimes it just requires a light tap here. Bear with me. There we go. Just needed a light tap. So there's our last gear. Very nice, guys. Just an awesome transmission. All the mounting ears are really nice. There's no welds or anything anywhere on this transmission other than this area that I mentioned was cleaned up. I'll take a close-up of that, but it just looks like it scraped the ground and someone just cleaned it up. And all the threads are good. No helicoils, no anything. I'm not sure if this is a close ratio or a wide ratio. I'll do a little more research on that. I feel like the early T10s would have had one groove if it was a wide ratio and none if it was a close ratio. Worst case scenario, I'll just do the math on the first gear and see what we got. But I'll make sure I put that in the description. If you've been looking for a early T10 for your hot rod or Corvette or Impala, this one is a real deal one. Looks like the side cover is dated 2/6/63. I believe Corvettes didn't get Muncies in 1963 until April or May or something. This one looks like the tail housing is April. So just a really nice unit, guys. Hard to tell what we got here. I don't know how to do the date code on this, but someone will. So anyway, really nice transmission, guys. If you've been looking for one, don't miss it. Every time one of these gets purchased and put in a car, there's one less available in circulation. These got eaten up pretty early on, just due to drag racing and things. You can see how thick the gear is. A Muncie is quite a bit thicker, so there's a lot more surface area for the power to go through. A lot of these, once the 429, or the 429, once the 409 and the fuel injected 327 and all that came out, these started to get toasted pretty quick just from guys putting huge tires in the back and just letting it rip at the drag strip. So don't miss it, guys. These are getting hard to find, and this is a nice one.